What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Colbert Park Farm and welcome back to another episode with me, Simulations for the Nation. As you can see, we're standing in the middle of a field of barley. Very ripe golden looking barley, but sadly not quite ripe enough. Just having a quick walk through here and doing a bit of a moisture check on it really, because I'd like to get this started in the next few days. Right now, the moisture on this field is about 19%. And ideally we want it to be 15% or lower before we'll start to cut it. So that means that we don't have to think about any drying costs. We can just lead it straight down to the grain store. And they'll accept it and they don't even run it through the dryer there. So that saves us further cost. So we need to leave this for a couple more days. Hopefully we're going to get some more glorious sunny days like today. So that'll keep the moisture on the way down. But as you can see, I'm very, very pleased with how this crop's looking here. It's a nice, thick, even crop. As we look down into the bottom here, there's a little bit of greenery in the bottom. Now, usually what we would do is we'd spray glyphosate onto here just to kill off any of the greenery about 2 weeks before we come to cut this the crop. We haven't done that this time around because there's not a lot of greenery in there. It probably wasn't going to be worthwhile, worth the investment. So we've opted to leave it, hoping that we get a nice dry breeze running through here as well, just to dry out any of the greener crop in the bottom. But we're doing alright on that side of things. So what we're probably likely to do is leave this for another couple of days, like I mentioned, and we should be good to get a start. This is our crop of potatoes here, which we will come back to eventually. And hopefully we'll get that. I need to think about how I'm going to harvest that. I need to hire a contractor in somewhere. So we have one field of barley, which is this one. This is a variety called SY Venture. And we have SY Venture because it's the most popular and kind of the most hardy variety of barley, really. This land on the top of the hill here is quite clayey. And then there's a little bit of sand, but then right down the bottom there as well, it gets very sandy. So we have to try and find a variety of barley that can grow across all conditions. So SY Venture is typically the best in that respect. So we're going to be coming into that field in the next couple of days, I should hope. In the meantime today, we're just going to head back up to the Chariot over here. The glorious Massey 3090. We've got a bit of fertilizer we're going to spread on some of the grassland, just to give that a bit of a kick up some nitrogen really, so we can get firing on a second cut on most of those fields. So what we're going to do is just fire us back up. The fertilizer spinner has some nitrogen in it already. This is just a little extra, about 6 tons here, just to push us on a bit further really. No, I can't see a thing. Anything in my mirror? Let's have a quick look. We're going to let this fella past. Because if I don't, he's probably just going to try and ram me anyway, so we might as well. Alright, and away we go. So how are you all doing, guys? Hope you're doing very well. And I hope, given that there has been obviously a lot of terrible weather in the last few days spreading across the UK there, and the effects of this hurricane are known very well at this stage. If you are watching, I do hope you've remained safe and you're able to avoid the worst weather. My thoughts are with you if you have been affected by it in any way, shape or form, and I hope you're able to get back to normality as soon as possible. But yeah, this is truly a nasty hurricane hitting the UK, particularly I believe it's Ireland that got a big brunt of it actually. So yeah, my thoughts go out to you guys. What we are going to be doing today, like I mentioned, we're going to be spreading some fertilizer here. Let's get this little hill. And coming this way. Nope. Go, 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 go. So yeah, the field on our left here is going to be the one the first we tackle, and then the 2 neighbouring fields, the pond field and the big field on the hillside, we'll crack onto as well. And that should give us plenty of hay for the winter really, once we get all those fields brought in. Right now, because I had to feed the cattle this morning, we've currently got 4 bales of hay left, which is not gonna see me through very long, put it that way. So we're going to be jumping into the international today. So we'll leave this parked up to the side for now, I think. No, because we're going to go to that gateway shortly. More space to move. Now you may be wondering why I've got a bale spike on the front to handle this fertilizer. Very good question. Truth of it is, I actually find this works better with fertilizer bags. It gives me a little bit more of an accurate kind of response and handling of each bag. It just means that we're able to use things a little bit more efficiently, really. But we're going to leave this guy parked up here for now. Like that. And we'll come back to that when we need to. But for right now, we're going to jump back into the case. We've got the old Bredel spinner on the back here. And away we go. So we're applying, which is a mixture which is potentially just, or essentially just full nitrogen, really. Nitrogen with a very slight dab of phosphorus in there as well, just to give that little extra kick. And then once again, as I've mentioned previously, I think this is what we're spreading onto here is a hybrid ryegrass, really. This is a hybrid of Italian and perennial ryegrass, so it gives a good mixture for silage and hay. What we usually do is, once seeded, we'll grow and cut this for 5 seasons. This season is number 3, so we don't need to think about reseeding this just yet. And we do that because at that stage we want to give some fresh injection into the field. There's only so long that we can continue to survive by just applying slurry or nitrogen in this case, without giving the growth and added boost, really. So that's why we're going ahead with the 5-year cycle. Quite often what we'll do is we'll rotate crops around, so we might at the end of this we could well plough this field in, put some spring barley into here, put some grassland in elsewhere, just to rotate everything around, and that's just part of our crop rotation more than anything else. But yeah, so typically, like I say, we've got another 2 seasons left after this one, in which to harvest as much of a forage crop off of here. But yeah, so we're doing alright at the moment. Can't complain on that side of things. And we do have plenty of grassland on the farm here to keep everything going. For the head of livestock we have at the moment, which when you include cattle and sheep, I think it comes just over I think it's let's find out, shall we? Yeah, so it's about 150 head of livestock in total. So we do need, because we have such a high number of cattle, they do require a lot of feed. So we do try and support that where possible. Hence the reason why we're also growing some potatoes this year, to give them a little bit of extra fodder, really, something else in the diet. So we'll probably be selling the bulk of those potatoes when they come out of the ground, but a lot of them will be going into mixed rations. So it would just be nice to get this down on the ground today and then be able to go and focus on getting ready for harvest. Shouldn't be too far away now. A lot to do, and right now the weather's looking good, but you can never guarantee it's going to stay well. Gave the inside of this tractor a clean out as well, actually. It often gets swept out, but then quite often we do need to come in here and just give the inside a bit of a polish. It doesn't stay in this good a condition if it's not looked after over time, so that's what we need to make sure we do. And it does handle, this spin is not the biggest. I think the capacity in here is probably about 1.5 tons, 2 tons at best. Not one of these huge big new spinners that can put in 4 and a bit tons. So it's big enough for what we need. and this tractor is more than capable of handling it, so I'm not about to go and change that out for anything. So we will just carry on cracking on here. Like I said, we're going to do the field in front of me here, and then the one with just down to the right there in the corner with the pond. The obviously titled Pond Field. Took me a long time to create that name. One more pass in the bottom corner here. That should be this field done. Lovely stuff. So now we're going to go and head back up the yard. We'll put maybe one bag in here, I think. Will probably be sufficient. And then we'll go and crack on with some of the other fields. I love the growl of this case. Really, it does have a fantastic sound to it. I would love to be able to put a straight pipe onto the exhaust. That'd be really good. That's all lowered down, perfect. We'll open this gate as well. Out the way, ladies. Move. Go on. Shoot. Yeah. There you go. Oh, I'm taking the straps off. That will help. Just need to make sure we don't clip the edge of the spinner there, that would be disastrous. And we'll put one more in. I think we can probably just about squeeze it in. Up. Alright, let's see how we get on with those two. So this isn't going to take very long to finish this field, so I'll get out there into the field, we'll get going, and I'll let you watch from the skies. Okie dokie, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. That didn't take too long at all. Didn't use too much fertilizer up anyway, but we've got them all covered. What we might do later on tonight is actually go up and spread some more onto the grounds up at the top of the yard, on the hay ground there we cleared off yesterday. But for now, we're just going to shoot on back up to the field. Give this case a bit of a crank up the field here. Listen to it purr as we climb. What we will do is just shut this gate. The cattle can stay in here. We've got plenty of grass growing now as well. They don't need to get down to there. I'm not sure how we missed that swath. I don't know what happened there. That's a bit strange. Overall, the contractor with the new rig didn't really do a great job. I wasn't very impressed with that. So we might, when we come to do our hay, if we can get someone else in to rake it up, we might look and get someone else with a smaller rake, because that didn't work very well at all. And it's pointless cutting all this grass down if he's just going to keep missing bits in the swath. Shut that gate, keep the cows in. Lovely. Okay, so we're just going to park this up for now. We won't need this anymore. Well, not for the immediate future anyway. Perfect. You. And what we're going to do now, we're going to just bump that massey out of the way. Stop blocking the entrance up. And then we're actually going to cold start the combine. Pull that out. And we'll just check it all over, make sure everything's okay on that, because we're going to be needing that in the next few days anyway. Just need to come and clear out the cattle trucks actually. They've obviously made a mess again. We'll put that a bit closer, I suppose. That's better. Okie dokie, so we'll have a wander around the corner. In fact, no, first thing we're going to do is wash this. It's been a while since it's been washed. I like to keep all my machines tidy and look like, at least give the appearance that they've been looked after. Power washer here. There's a reason it's been able to withstand what are the best part of 25 years and still in good condition. Okay, so, like I said, this time I'm going to go and have a look at the old girl, get her fired up, let her run through for a little bit, and maybe even bring her on out of the shed. She's got a lot of work to do this year, so it's always important that we kind of just keep an eye on her and make sure she's doing okay. So she was put away, she got serviced before she went away last year. Now, unlike a lot of these new combines where you can have automatic adjustments and very easy adjusting belts on the like the feed house here or in the thresher on the back there, if you look inside here, you can't quite see. There's a whole load of pulleys and belts under these side shutters. Same on this side for like the grain elevator, which goes up to the tank there. We need to make sure that all of these pulleys and belts are retention, because I always take the tension off before the machine gets parked away for the winter. just so we can preserve everything really. If we keep the machine with the tension on all the belts, it's gonna eventually damage the belts over the winter there. So we slacken everything off a little bit, and yeah. So we'll bring it out now. We'll just make sure we can get everything tightened back up again. But what we need to do first of all is make sure it's actually going to start for me. Look at that, first time on the button as well. And I'll give you a peek inside the curtain here. I have just put a new battery on here, so the battery was disconnected and charged a little bit last week, so it is firing fresh. But I hadn't started the engine up, so that was still genuine. Alrighty then, let's get it pulled outside, and then we'll just leave it to work around and let it tick over for a little bit. Very rarely do you see a combine that still has a gearbox on this side of its seat. That's usually just a very nice buddy seat or a passenger seat these days. Hit any of my silage trailers there? No? Perfect. Okay, let's just push them forward a little bit. One day I would very much like to upgrade this combine. If we do look to ever kind of increase our arable side of things, then I think it will be a requirement. At the moment though, it's just so expensive. Even to find a reliable second-hand machine, it's going to cost a lot of money, and for the amount of acreage we're currently doing, it's not quite worth it. So we'll have to kind of hang on and see. No, I'm just going to go and shove this right in front of the house here. Park it where the car is usually parked. Give someone a surprise when they look out the bedroom window. Alright, so we're going to let this kind of tick over for a little bit longer. Shake off any cobwebs, make sure everything's good, and then we'll put it back into the workshop later just to tension everything, get some grease onto the wheels, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, thank you very much for watching another episode here on Colby Park Farm. You've been watching Simulation for the Nation. If you would like to drop a comment below, or smash that subscribe button, or even hit the like button there, please do. That means a great deal to myself. Apparently it really helps me with the development of the channel and the growth, so that would be superb if you could do that for me. Until next time, I am going to leave you here and say thank you very much for watching once again. And until next time, stay safe and watch what you're doing, and we'll see you later.